Okay, so when you think about the Pacific Coast, Seattle down to San Diego,
Mm.
what usually pops into your head?
Mm.
Probably like tech, modern cities, maybe the beach.
Yeah, innovation, that sleek urban style. Definitely.
Right, but what if behind all that modern gloss,
Mm.
there's this other layer,
Yeah.
a past full of gritty towns, lawless times, maybe?
And forgotten adventurers.
Exactly. People whose lives, well, ended too soon.
That's really what we're diving into today.
Okay.
And the mission here is to pull out the key bits, the insights from these tales about spirits, weird phenomena. Some are pure legend, but others.
Huh.
Others have this surprising hint of truth to them.
Mm.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how these stories just last. How they keep shaping how we see these places, even now.
Okay, let's get into it then. Where are we starting? Pacific Northwest.
Yep, heading up to Seattle first.
All right, so the Burnley Ghost. This is at the Burnley School of Professional Art, founded in '46.
That's the one. And the weird stuff apparently started in the 1960s.
What kind of weird stuff are we talking?
Well, the reports mention doors opening by themselves, hollow footsteps on stairs when no one's there,
Creepy.
and even phones dialing numbers on their own. Classic haunting signs, really.
And the local story points to a teenager.
Yeah, teenage boy. The legend says he died falling off a steep stairway behind the school. Tragic.
But there's more to it, right? That detail about trying to contact the spirit.
Ah, yes. That's where it gets really specific. Someone tried, and supposedly there was this huge crash.
Right, in an upstairs bathroom.
Exactly. Window broken, and a rock inside. A rock that was apparently way too heavy for anyone to have thrown up there from the ground.
Okay, that is a weird detail. That kind of specificity,
Yeah,
it makes the story stick, doesn't it?
it absolutely does. It's those granular details like the impossible rock that make you pause and think, well, how? It sort of grounds the supernatural, even if just in the telling, makes it much more durable in local memory.
Okay, so moving south from Seattle. Portland, Oregon. Lone Fir Cemetery.
Right, the haunting of Lone Fir Cemetery, established way back 1846.
And this story is quite different. It's focused on one person, Emma Merleton.
Emma, yes. A really tragic figure, came from France around 1850, apparently quite beautiful.
Married, but then abandoned.
Yeah, then became a high-class prostitute, and then was brutally murdered with an axe.
Oh, wow. And the murder was never solved?
Never solved. And adding to the horror, the authorities actually removed one of her eyes.
What?
Based on this old mistaken belief that the last image someone sees her attacker, in this case, might be imprinted on their retina.
That's incredibly grim.
It really is. So the legend now is that she haunts the cemetery.
Dressed in 19th century French clothes.
That's what they say, screaming, throwing her hands up if people get close, like she's reliving the attack.
God, that's awful. Her grave is still there.
Yeah. It is a physical anchor for the whole story.
Yeah.
And it feels like, the unresolved nature of her death, the injustice, that's what keeps her tied there in the folklore.
It connects to that bigger idea of unfinished business, doesn't it?
Definitely. It's like the story itself is trying to keep her memory and the unsolved crime alive.
Okay, so we've had individual tragedies.
Yeah.
What about something bigger, like a community disaster? Crescent City, California.
Ah, yes. The Spirits of Battery Point Lighthouse. Built 1856.
And this place saw that devastating tsunami in 1964.
It did. A huge tragedy. 11 lives lost, 29 city blocks just wiped out. Immense devastation.
And the legend connects the haunting directly to that.
It suggests the spirits of those who died in the tsunami came back ashore and now reside in the lighthouse.
Wow. And the last residents, the Tugels,
Hmm.
they reported things.
They did. Jerry and Nadine Tugels. They talked about slippers being turned around overnight, footsteps in the tower when they were downstairs, and their cats. The cats apparently sensed things, avoiding certain rooms or only walking on the furniture in specific areas, like they were avoiding something on the floor.
Animals are often said to be sensitive to this stuff.
They are. And paranormal investigators who visited apparently concluded there were permanent ghosts there, a man, a woman, and a child.
So it's not just one ghost, but maybe echoes of the whole event.
Exactly. That's what makes this one feel different. It's like the collective trauma of the tsunami itself sort of imprinted on the location. Gives it a heavier feel somehow.
Okay, let's keep heading south. Monterey Peninsula. Beautiful place. The 17-mile drive.
Gorgeous.
But it has its own mystery. The lady in lace.
Yes, this beautiful, mysterious figure sometimes seen along the coast there.
And who is she supposed to be? A jilted bride, maybe?
That's one version, wandering the cliffs in her wedding dress. But there's another theory, too.
Which is?
That she might be Dona Maria del Carmen Barreto. She was a landowner, had about 4,000 acres, sold it after her husband was killed. And the idea is maybe she just comes back to enjoy the view, the land she loved, even in the fog.
So this one feels different. Less about a violent death, maybe more about attachment.
Precisely.
Right.
It raises the idea that a spirit's connection isn't always trauma. It could be a deep love for a place, a desire to just revisit. It's a different kind of lingering.
Interesting. And staying right there in Monterey, there's the Custom House?
Yeah, the Monterey Custom House murder victims, another layer of history.
This was like a place for sailors.
It was, yeah. A residence for sailors far from home. So the stories say it hosts the ghosts of many who died there, without family nearby.
And there are specific incidents reported.
There are. One family living there in the late 1800s reported something really chilling.
What was that?
Their toddler, who couldn't even crawl yet, was somehow moved from his basket and found laid in the ashes in the fireplace.
Oh my God. That's horrifying.
It is. And another story from a woman who claimed the ghost of a Mexican man appeared to her.
And what did he want?
He told her he and his son were murdered there over buried gold. And his only wish was for a proper Catholic funeral.
Wow. That need for proper burial rites, it comes up a lot in these stories, doesn't it?
It really does. It taps into these, deep human anxieties about rest, resolution, respect after death.
And the fireplace story. That fear for a child's safety is so primal.
Absolutely. These stories reflect the fears and maybe the hopes of their time, the hope for peace, even if it's sought by a ghost.
Okay, moving further south again. San Juan Capistrano Mission, one of the famous California missions.
Right, girths of San Juan Capistrano Mission, full of history and hauntings, apparently.
There's a big earthquake there historically.
Yes, 1812. Devastated the mission, killed quite a few people who were inside the church at the time.
And a specific legend came out of that, about a little girl.
Magdalena, yes.
Yeah.
The story goes she died in the church collapse. She was supposedly walking inside with candle as a form of penance.
Oh, how sad.
Very. And now, they say she appears in the ruins, especially on nights with a crescent moon. You can supposedly see her face lit by the candle.
That's such a vivid image.
It really is. And there are other claims, too. A headless soldier, a monk wielding an axe roaming around, more standard ghost fare, perhaps.
But Magdalena's story tied directly to that historical catastrophe.
It really shows how major events get woven into folklore, doesn't it? She becomes this poignant symbol of the tragedy, personifying the loss.
Okay, so far we've mostly talked about spirits tied to locations. But what about objects?
Now we get to something a bit different, yeah. The curse of James Dean's car.
Right. James Dean, huge movie star, died in that crash in 1955 near Paso Robles in his Porsche Spyder.
The little bastard, he called it.
But the story gets weirder after the crash, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Starting with Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. It's an incredible anecdote. Guinness apparently met Dean right beside the car just days before the crash.
And he felt something off.
He described this really strong, menacing premonition. He actually begged Dean not to get in the car, told him, "You'll be dead within a week if you drive that thing."
Wow. And he was, 7 days later.
Exactly. And then the wreckage itself seemed cursed.
How so? Parts were reused, right?
Yeah. Parts were salvaged. A doctor who used the engine in his race car, Troy McHenry, was killed in a crash. Other parts led to injuries. And the car's shell itself reportedly fell off a truck and crushed a mechanic or driver transporting it.
So is it a curse or just a string of terrible coincidences linked to a famously tragic object?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It could be apophenia, us seeing patterns where there are none, but the stories are powerful.
Especially that Guinness premonition.
Right. It adds this almost fated prophetic layer that makes it more than just a series of accidents. It feels like a cautionary tale about something dark attached to the car itself.
Okay, shifting gears again, but staying in the realm of the truly disturbing.
Yeah.
Culver City, near L.A., the entity haunting.
Also known as the Doris Bither case. This one is intense.
Doris Bither, single mother, 4 kids. And she reported being attacked.
Repeatedly. By 3 entities, she said. 2 small, 1 large, doing horrific things, even reportedly abusing her children over years. It's deeply unsettling stuff.
And this case actually got some academic attention. UCLA researchers.
It did. 2 students and a psychology professor studying paranormal phenomena got involved. They observed things.
Like what?
They reported witnessing things like a frying pan flying out of a cupboard on its own, but the most chilling part.
Yeah.
They concluded the phenomena wasn't tied to the house. It followed Doris herself, even when she moved.
So it wasn't a haunted house, it was a haunted person.
That was their assessment. It's often cited as one of the few supposedly credible documented cases, though obviously there's criticism about methods and bias.
Still, that idea of a haunting being attached to a person, that's terrifying. It goes beyond the usual ghost story.
It really does. It suggests a kind of personal, pervasive torment that's much more invasive than a spirit tied to a location. Very disturbing.
All right, let's move to something grander now. An entire ship. The Queen Mary.
Ah, the gray ghost. Now docked in Long Beach, serving as a hotel.
Bigger than the Titanic. Sailed from 1936. And apparently very, very haunted.
That's its reputation, yes. A real hotspot. Lots of specific spirits associated with it.
Like the crewman.
Right, an 18-year-old. Crushed by a watertight door during a drill back in 1966. People report seeing him near door 13 in the engine room, and then he just vanishes.
And there's a child ghost, too. Jack.
Little Jackie, yeah. Supposedly drowned in one of the pools. The story goes she doesn't realize she's dead.
So she's seen
Playing, running around the pool area, sometimes seen near a piano, her legs dangling off the bench. Then poof, gone.
And something about bed sheets.
Oh, yeah, in a specific stateroom. Apparently, a woman died there in the 40s. Later guests have reported waking up to find their bed sheets violently yanked off.
By whom?
By the apparition of a man who then disappears instantly.
Wow. It's like the ship itself absorbed all these different life stories and tragedies.
Exactly. These huge historic vessels become these containers for intense human experience, right? Life, death, accidents, emotions. The Queen Mary seems to be a focal point for all sorts of lingering echoes.
Okay, our final stop. San Diego, California's oldest European city.
And the famous Hotel del Coronado.
With its most famous ghost, the beautiful stranger.
Kate Morgan. A truly sad and mysterious story.
She arrived at the hotel back in 1892, Thanksgiving Day, and she died there.
She did. Took her own life. Her background was complex, wealthy family, but an unhappy marriage, lost a baby.
And she ran off with someone else.
Her husband's stepbrother, apparently, but that relationship failed too. Witnesses saw her arguing with a man who then abandoned her on a train heading to San Diego.
So she checked into the Coronado alone.
Under a fake name, Lottie A. Bernard, presumably waiting for this man who never showed up.
Then she bought a gun.
And ended her life in her room, which is now room 3327.
In that room. That's the center of the haunting.
It is. Reports include flickering lights, TVs turning on and off by themselves, breezes when the windows are closed, sudden cold spots. Classic signs.
But she's not just in the room. What's this about the gift shop?
Apparently, Kate is also fond of the hotel gift shop. Staff and guests report items suddenly falling off shelves. Falling, but then landing perfectly upright, unbroken, like a playful, mischievous kind of presence.
It's still tied to her tragedy, though. The profound sadness and loneliness.
It really is. And that's often the core of these enduring ghost stories, isn't it? Unresolved emotion, deep sorrow binding a spirit to a place.
And those specific details, like the gift shop, they make it feel so grounded somehow.
They do. It brings the story into the everyday world of the hotel, makes it feel very present. It's a fascinating blend of deep tragedy and slightly whimsical haunting.
Wow. We've covered a lot of ground, from Seattle down to San Diego, urban legends, historical sites, even a cursed car. It's quite a collection of eerie tales.
It really is.
What's the main thing that stands out to you after revisiting all these?
For me, it's how these stories blend history, real human tragedy, and our collective need to make sense of things we don't understand. They make us ask not just if these hauntings are real, but why we tell these stories. Why do they fascinate us so much?
That's a great point. So for you listening, as you maybe travel along the Pacific coast, or even just think about it, perhaps you'll have this new awareness now. A sense of these hidden histories, these unresolved dramas that some people feel still linger right below the surface. It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? Beyond all the modern stuff, the tech, the trends, are these echoes of the past still out there?
Still looking for answers, or maybe just peace.
Something to think about.